Lagos, Nigeria, 2026. David Okafor was 19 years old, standing just under 2 meters tall and weighing around 102 kilograms. His body had been built through years of hard physical labor. People often noticed his size before anything else, but very few knew that behind his intimidating appearance was a quiet, kind-hearted young man. He lived with his parents in a small, modest house on the outskirts of Lagos. His father, Joseph, worked as a mechanic, while his mother, Grace, sold fruits and vegetables at the local market. David worked long shifts, doing heavy labor in a warehouse. The pay was low, life was difficult, and the future looked uncertain. But every evening, he followed the same routine. He trained on the pull-up bars near his neighborhood. After his workout, he would watch videos of America, Miami, palm trees, beautiful beaches, luxury cars, skyscrapers, beautiful women. It was a world that felt impossibly far away, yet absolutely perfect. One day, I'll make it there, he whispered to himself. One night, 11:10 p.m., after finishing another exhausting shift, David walked home through the dark streets of Lagos. The city was unusually quiet. Only a few streetlights flickered in the distance. Suddenly, "Help!" He stopped. A second scream echoed through the night. "Please, let me go." David turned toward a narrow alley between two old buildings. What he saw changed his life forever. A young man had a terrified woman pinned against a wall. "Let me go," she cried. "Shut up," the man yelled back. David stepped forward. "Hey, leave her alone." The attacker turned around. "And who are you?" "Someone telling you to let her go." The frightened woman looked at David. "Please, help me." The attacker smiled. "This isn't your business." "It is now," David replied calmly. The tension grew. The man walked toward David and shoved him. "Get out of here."
I don't want any trouble.
David didn't move. "I don't want any trouble."
Then you're standing in the wrong place.
"Then you're standing in the wrong place." Without warning, the attacker pulled a knife. "Now you're going to regret this." Everything happened in a split second. David reacted on instinct and pushed him away with all his strength. The attacker lost his balance, stumbled backward, and slammed onto the concrete. "Silence!
Run!
Run!" David shouted to the woman. She didn't hesitate. She sprinted out of the alley and disappeared into the darkness. David remained frozen. He looked at the man lying on the ground. He wasn't moving. "Hey," David whispered. He slowly stepped closer. Nothing. His breathing became heavy.
No.
His heart pounded inside his chest. "No, no." Panic took over. The street was empty. No witnesses. Without thinking another second, David turned around and ran. He burst through the front door. His father immediately stood up. What happened? David couldn't speak. He collapsed into a chair, holding his head with both hands. I think I've done something terrible." His mother rushed toward him. "What happened, son?" For several moments, there was only silence. Then David slowly told them everything. His father lowered his head. After a long silence, he finally spoke. "If you stay here, you won't survive." "What do you mean?" David asked. His father looked him straight in the eyes. "They'll find you. Either the police nor dangerous people connected to that man." His mother began to cry. The following morning, the decision had been made. They gathered every dollar they had. "Go," his father said as he handed him an envelope, "and don't come back until you're safe." David stayed silent. "Where do I go?" His father answered without hesitation. "America." "The journey will be long and dangerous, but that's where your future is. You'll have to get there illegally. We have a relative who knows someone that can help you." David slowly raised his head. For years, he had dreamed about America, about Miami, a dream that had always seemed impossible. Now, it was his only chance to survive. He closed his hand around the envelope. For the first time, he didn't say, "One day." Instead, he whispered, "I'm leaving now." The next morning, David barely slept. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the man's lifeless body lying on the concrete. The house was silent. His father sat at the kitchen table. "I know someone who can help," he finally said. "What kind of person?" "Someone who helps people leave, for a price." A few hours later, they met a middle-aged man in a small cafe. The man studied David carefully. "So, you're the boy."
Listen.
David stayed
Carefully.
quiet.
If you want to reach
Listen
America,
carefully.
you first go
If
to
you
Brazil.
want to reach America, you first go to Brazil. Brazil? Yes, someone will be waiting for you there. He'll give you the next instructions. He handed David a small piece of paper. One name was written on it, Carlos. Under it was an address in Sao Paulo. "When you arrive, tell him Abdul sent you." "That's all?" The man smiled. "Trust me, that's the easiest part of the journey. When you get there, they'll ask for more money. I honestly don't know how much. As for me, you owe me $1,000 today." That same evening, David's father managed to buy him a plane ticket. Officially, nobody knew what had happened in the alley. There was still time, but not much. At Lagos Airport, his mother couldn't stop crying. She held his hands tightly, as if letting go would mean losing him forever. "Will you come back?" David didn't know what to say. His father hugged him. "No matter what happens, stay alive."
Send you money.
David nodded.
Promise.
"I'll send you money, I promise."
Will you come
"Don't
back?
think
no
about
matter
money,"
what?
his mother said through tears. "Just survive." The final boarding announcement echoed through the terminal. It was time. David hugged them both one last time. Then he turned around and walked toward the security checkpoint, without looking back. Several hours later, he sat on the airplane. For the first time in his life, he was leaving Africa. Clouds drifted past the window. Most of the passengers were asleep. But David couldn't close his eyes. The same images kept replaying in his mind. The man, the fall, the blood. "I never wanted to kill him," he whispered. His stomach tightened. For the first time, he wondered whether he truly deserved a second chance. After the long flight, the plane finally landed in Sao Paulo, Brazil. David stepped out of the airport exhausted and confused. Everything felt different. The language, the people, the city. He sat on a bench outside the terminal and connected to the airport's free Wi-Fi. His hands trembled as he searched the Nigerian news. A few seconds later, he found the headline, "Man found dead in Lagos alley. Police investigation underway." David read every word. No suspects, no witnesses. The case remained unsolved. He let out a deep breath. For a brief moment, he felt relieved. But only for a moment. Because a much bigger challenge was waiting for him. He was alone, in a foreign country, and his journey to America had only just begun.